Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beavermosh, and today I am talking to you about Caverns of Occultic Hatred from the Maryland-based Vile Ritual, and this is coming off of Sentient Ruin Laboratories. And this is a one-person project, everything credited to Liam McMahon, who you may recognize from other bands such as Ninth Realm, and here with Vile Ritual we had a very nasty take on blackened death metal. The music here is caused, it's dense, it's unforgiving, and it will make you feel quite claustrophobic at times. But while leaning in on a lot of noisiness, Vile Ritual does come through with these creative, spacey passages. The band name, Vile Ritual, feels quite literal when listening to this album. That is exactly what's happening here. For those who like their metal feeling like it was recorded in a cave, who are fans of just ferocious dissonance, well, keep watching. On the track Formless, I am just struck by these bludgeoning blast beats and these chaotic, muddy guitars. The vocals have a real raspy bellow to them. Referring to this opening track as cavernous wouldn't do it justice. The way the guitars and the drums will sometimes interact with each other here, kind of running evenly with each other, leads way to a lot of propulsive, violently hammering moments. And then over all of this, with a deceptive level of control, the guitars come through with these dissonant bends and atonal quote-unquote melody, filling a lot of the space here creatively while still maintaining that brutal and suffocating veneer. On Aimless, these more rummaging, rolling death metal riffs find their way into the mix, paired with this deliciously ugly tin can drum sound. Oh, it's gnarly. And the vocals let out these bestial snarls with blood in the eyes. And just the way that this is all recorded, dark to say would be an understatement. It's abrasive, it's gritty, it's raw. But there's still this snappiness to it. Everything feels very present. So well done in that department. There is this very sparse but smoky section on this track. The atmosphere just comes off as poisonous. You get this impressionistic noodling and some nauseating whispered snares. This passage is just as oppressive as the heavier parts. You get these pounding, almost doom-leaning riffs on gyromancy paired with these ferocious animalistic chants. It's terrifying. It's psychotic. It's amazing. And there's a definite black metal influence here as well, with these spiraling, trebly guitars that bring to the music this creepy, ritualistic feel. Chapel has this wicked echo effect. Everything seems to bubble up to a peak at which you are met with these slicing guitars and these monstrous drums, and these spewing, eerily picked riffs weave disharmoniously through all of the muck in the most satisfying of ways. It's definitely not pretty, but damn does it sound good to my ears. The drums have this sort of off-kilter skip to them. The snare hops around in very non-traditional patterns because this is not a human skeleton to this track. This is the framework of an abyssal beast. On Manifestation, I very much like these spacey ambient bits that work strangely very well. Doesn't kill any forward motion to my ears. Instills a lot of natural fear and tension into the music. You know, the band's name, as I've already mentioned, and the band camp, kind of in their description, refer to this music as that of a dark ritual, and that makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of parts in this music, like this passage, injects a ceremonial darkness into the music that feels integral to how this album sounds and feels. And these freakish, whispered, multi-layered incantations really hammer that home. They are mesmerizing in the most harrowing and twisted sort of ways. Black Chrism is built on these glacial, crushing doom riffs with these snaking guitar licks coming through. It just feels so void of any sign of life. But everything does quickly erupt into actually one of the noisiest, most chaotic segments on the entire record. Everything is just set on fire and let loose. It's a magnificent exercise in unbridled intensity. So much is happening on the track Living Hell, from these vocal onslaughts to these blistering, jerking drums to these jagged, ultra heavy guitars. It's just inviting you into utter madness and disarray. This is the sound of pure misery and hopelessness. While the guitar has quite a raw production quality to it, its tone still somehow comes through with this crisp, rich sound. It's thick and reverberating, buzzes with such a command. And then these dissonant arpeggios really claw at the brain. It leaves me so confused and stricken with sonic horror. I love it. The percussion really takes the lead on Void. These incessant whipping patterns behind the kit come through with a real brute-like physicality. It rules. The riffs here take on more of a groove-oriented approach. Feels almost immolation-inspired. The whole thing overall feels like it's coming from a void. The deepest, darkest cavern you can possibly find. Caverns of Occultic Hatred by Vile Ritual sounds like exactly that. Caverns of Occultic Hatred. Everything is so punishing and wicked and a lot to digest in one sitting. You'll have to spend multiple listens with this one to really pick up on just everything that is happening. Because a lot is. This album feels so unpolished, yet it also seems like it is completely crafted and chiseled in how it's supposed to sound. Every note feels like it's coming out exactly the way it was intended to. This album has disgusting riffs, devilish drums, and unholy vocals. It's what you want if you like blackened death metal, especially if you like it more on the nauseating side of things. So go listen to this. And hey, those are my thoughts. If you like what I do, if you enjoy my content, tell me, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me if you'd consider subscribing. Leave a comment below. I really love getting to engage with those. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. And hey, you watching right there, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh, and I'm signing off.